Hi, everybody. So, my name is Charmaine, and my channel is called The Main Thing. And the reason why it is because my name is Charmaine, and I like to talk about things that I think are important to people and things that'll help people. So, the thing I'm going to talk about today is the endometriosis biopsy or the uterine biopsy. And for a lot of women who are in a certain age group or who are going through various types of things in their bodies, they have to have this biopsy. And so I want to talk about my experience. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of women suffer with this biopsy. It can be very, very, very painful because the doctor is going into your cervix. And some of the tools that are being used to go into the cervix or to hold the cervix open, like this torture tool called the tenaculum, can be very painful. And also then after the tenaculum is used, of course, the papille is used. And that isn't as painful once the cervix is open, but you got to get to that place first. So I want to tell you about a wonderful experience I had with a doctor. Her name is Dr. Eleanor Tianson. She's from Delaware County, Pennsylvania, and she's no longer in practice, but she is the reason why I do not suffer when I have an endometriosis biopsy. Now, let me tell you something, ladies. When it comes to your body, as everybody has been talking about for years and years, you got to be proactive. And when you learn something about what's going to be good for you, you need to share that with any physician who may not know you. Because physicians, I think by trade, just automatically think they know more than everybody else. Because they've gone to school, they've studied, they have the experience. But the bottom line is you may know more than everybody else about everything, but you don't know more than me about me. And that's my attitude. So I had this wonderful gynecologist, OBGYN, brought a lot of babies into the world in Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. But when I had stopped menstruating and then I would spot after that, every time I spotted, she said, well, we better do an endometriosis biopsy just to make sure you don't have any precancerous cells or anything going on in there that shouldn't be going on. The first time she did it, I had to be sedated. She did it. I was cool. I didn't have any pain afterward. It was all wonderful. The second time she did it, she said, Charmaine, let me tell you, one of my patients was so afraid of having this done. She said a prayer. She asked God to help her. Because that's another thing about my OBGYN. She was like really religious and a really spiritual lady. And not only did she, examine you and help you and educate you, but she prayed with you. And I thought that was extra wonderful. But let me get back to the point. So this one other patient that Dr. Tianson had was scared. And so she had prayed and, was trying to just get the courage to have this procedure that she needed to have. And so she goes into Dr. Tianson's office that day, and she's so afraid. She gets on the table. Of course, she undresses and everything. She scoots down like you're supposed to. And she's so afraid let me back up a bit. And then Dr. Tianson uses the speculum, inserts the speculum. But she's so afraid that for whatever reasons, and we're going to say because, like she prayed and asked God to help her, she raised her right leg up to her breast, and her left leg was in the sternum. And Dr. Tianson had an aha moment because what she realized when she raised her right leg up to her chest, that the cervix opened by itself, that she did not need this torture tool called the tenaculum, which is really the thing that causes all the pain. Because once the cervix is open, you can get the sample using the papille just by simply coughing. So from that point on, after she had that experience with that young lady, we did that. And we may have done that like 3 times after that. And guess what? I never had any pain, little to no bleeding. So why am I telling you this, ladies? I'm telling you this in case you have to have this procedure done, that you got to take charge of it. Now, let me tell you something else. Dr. Tianson is no longer practicing, so I'm with a new GYN. And my first time with her was 2 weeks ago. And I was trying to tell her about how Dr. Tianson and I were doing this endometriosis biopsy. And I got the feeling she wasn't listening. And I also have to tell you that I probably wasn't explaining it as clearly as I could have. And I probably should have paid way more attention when Dr. Tianson was trying to teach me about my body. But I did get enough information to be able to tell her what I wanted her to know. So she said, oh, yeah, we can talk about that, at your next visit when you had a procedure. I said, okay. So I get to the procedure this morning, and I'm like, I didn't want to go because I trusted Dr. Tianson so much, and I knew she had my best interest at heart, and I wasn't feeling this woman all that great. And then she has to have somebody in the room with her, which Dr. Tianson never did, but now there's this new thing where when women are in the, having these examinations, they got to have somebody with them, which is fine, but it's like a different person every time, and everybody's seeing the family jewels. I mean, I don't like that. But anyway, I'm digressing. So we get there. So immediately I undress, I get weighed, I do all the things I'm supposed to do. They take my blood pressure, everything's wonderful. I sit on the edge of the bed, I scoot down, I have a little sheet over my bottom half of me, and she begins to tell me what we're going to do. She says, well, I'm going to take this sample. I'm going to use these tools. And she goes on. I said, excuse me. I said, I don't know if you remember me from 2 weeks ago, but I was telling you that there's a way to do this so that I don't have any pain. So she said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right. You were telling me. And then, somebody had asked me if I had taken the Motrin, because you're supposed to take the Motrin before you go, just in case you have discomfort. I said, I'm not taking any Motrin. I don't like taking any pills I don't have to take. And I knew I didn't have to take any Motrin for this procedure. So I began to tell her. So, well, now, Dr. So-and-so, I said, now I've had this done 4 or 5 times in the last 5 years. Now, let me tell you, I think, did I tell you I had fibroids? Did I tell you that I was postmenopausal? Sometimes I spot. I believe it's because of the fibroids, because I've had the endometriosis biopsy done. I've had the vaginal ultrasound done, and they haven't found anything wrong. So sometimes I believe the fibroids bleed on their own, and I think this is what happened this time too. Let's hope and pray, right? So anyway, I tell her, I said, listen, now I've already done this 4 or 5 times, so I know how this works. I don't have to be in pain, and I don't have to have take any drugs, and I don't have to do a lot of bleeding. So I said, if we work together, this will work out. So she, of course, looked at me like I was crazy, and I didn't care because it's still my body. So I get up on the table. I said, now, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to lift up one of my legs, and I'm going to hold it up near my right breast. I'm going to put my other foot in the stirrup. And if my cervix does not open, I want you to tell me, because we're not going to do this procedure. Because either I'm not giving you the right instructions, or something's not right, and I need to go back to the drawing board. I know I'm not supposed to be in pain, and I know my cervix is supposed to open if I do a certain thing with my body, and maybe I'm not doing it right. I'll go back and figure out what it is. I'll come back and talk to you. So she said, okay. I lifted my right leg up to my chest as high as I could get it. And lo and behold, I said, is my cervix open? Can you see in there? Is it open? And it's only the outer part, because you still got to get the inner part open too. But the outer part was open enough to get that papilla in there and get that sample. So once it's open, Dr. Tianson taught me, when I tell you to cough, you cough. And while you're coughing, I'm grabbing a sample. Ladies, let me tell you something. She got that sample in less than 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And she did not have to use that torture tool called the tenaculum, which is really, I believe, the thing that really causes all the pain. So what am I saying, ladies? I'm saying, I don't care what's going on with your body. I don't care what do you have or what they say you have. Once you figure out what's best for you, stand on it. Don't let anybody tell you what they're going to do to your body. Here's an unnecessary procedure that she was going to do that she didn't have to do. And that thing looks scary. Go online and look at that tenaculum. It looks like an ice pick. Some of them do. Some of them are look a little different, but some of them look like an ice pick. And this is something that's going into your flesh, inside your body. But thankfully, thank God, thank you, Jesus, that I did not have to. Let me tell you something. She got that sample within like less than 30 seconds. I said, you done? She said, I got it. I said, you got everything you need? She said, well, I don't know yet. She had a little attitude. I was like, all right, okay, no problem. I put my clothes back on. Now, I had just done it like 8:30 this morning. It is 8:00 p.m. tonight. No bleeding and no pain. No bleeding, no pain. How you like me now? Take control and be in charge of what's going on in your body. Don't let people tell you stuff, especially when you found out other ways to do things. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an OBGYN, but guess what? I got taught by one. She told me what to do to have this procedure. And so I'm eternally grateful to her. And I hope this video helps somebody. And if you want to reach out to me, if you need to ask me more questions, please do. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, tell me you don't like it. But share it with another woman. This is about women. This is about women helping women. All right? All right, guys. Take care. Thank you. And thanks for listening.